If you're watching this, it means that... If you're watching this, it means that something of humanity has survived. Good. Hi there! Right now, seems there's little hope for humanity. Maybe in 10, 100, 1,000 years' time, somebody will find this tape, and the voice of an ordinary man, a nobody, will try to put the events of November 2019 into some sort of context. In the last few years, it seemed there was lots of things vying to take down humanity. Climate change, flu pandemic, thermonuclear confrontation, a comet striking the Earth. But who'd have thought that a game would destroy everything? Developed by Google, the military, hackers, ISIS, a kid with a laptop. Who knows? Well, somebody knows. The throwaway news stories at first, most people heard about it. The latest viral sensation. And then suddenly it was everywhere. From China, Russia, America, France. Anyone's guess. Apart from somebody who knows that is. A game. Sorry, future generations, a game. A bloody good game, to be fair, but worth missing work for? Well, that's any game, but worth losing your job over? They were just the first ones, when there were still jobs. Jokey news stories, when there was still news. Jacob Rees-Mogg sneering down his nose about the lack of control shown by those feral gamers. He was the first MP to go, which was quite amusing, when there were still MPs. It was shocking how things so quickly collapsed. Just a small percentage of people just didn't turn up to work or were so distracted when they got there. Could have been a teacher, the odd nurse, a surgeon, lawyer, politician, farmer, gardener. Within weeks you knew that something was wrong. Endless queues. And the companies just buckled under the strain. After about a month, the first nation collapsed, Luxembourg. And then the stock markets crashed. The whole edifice just came tumbling down. Like a machine with a million interconnected parts. I guess businesses and governments were already so stretched, so lean, that even a little bit of disruption, they just snapped. Just-in-time manufacturing just ran out of people with time. Could it be that our minds were altered by mobile phone signals? Chemtrails? Vaccinations? Who can say? Well, I guess someone can say. Anyone with half a brain knows that stuff is bullshit. In spite of what half the internet was saying, oh, and if the internet survives, please don't judge humanity by the internet. Would be a nice excuse, though. In truth, it was just a game on a bright screen that we couldn't keep our eyes off long enough to stop us going into oblivion. That's how it all ends. But Google doing it by accident? Perhaps. The story goes that it escaped from a top-secret laboratory, Game Engine X, that Google was fed up with being stuck in a rut of advertising it got itself into, and it wanted to do something that people actually wanted. So it used its vast, unbelievably vast store of human information, and it set an artificial intelligence program the task of developing the most compelling game ever invented. And it looked at everything, the whole internet. Everything, all our small pleasures, from tiddlywinks to online poker to Monopoly, watching sports, everything, it all went into the pot. And this flat, eyeless, silicon, multi-legged artificial intelligence crawled its way through petabytes of human interaction, sifting like a prospect of specks of gold. And it found glints of gold, anything that made any human, want. And it took all of that dust and collected it to form something compelling. Something as compelling as love, as anger, as hate, as hunger or sex. And it distilled it into the perfect game. Game 5. I don't know. You'd expect the graphics would have been a bit better. It would have got some multi-intelligence life form. But why Game 5? He said it's got to do something with quantum computing. That it exists in 5 dimensions all at once. But that just sounds like bullshit. And maybe other people say that it's a game to the power of 5. So like a game times a game times a game to reflect how much more of a game it is than any other game. But maybe it was just Game 5. The 5th game that somebody made. Who knows? Well, I guess someone knows. Or was it the military? Trump or Putin? Was there a difference? Messing with our minds, psyops, psychological warfare. And all the information they needed, we gifted it to them on Facebook. We couldn't wait to share our stories or fill in a survey about what kind of personality are you? Are you an introvert? Is your password strong enough? Enter it here and we'll tell you. And they say that Putin, he thought the Russian minds would be really, really strong and immune to it, and the Western minds would just succumb. But nobody can be immune to this mental virus. The first virus to cross the silicon-human divide. And the more intelligent you are, the faster you succumb. It's probably why it's left to me, an ordinary man, to tell the story. But if it was a military attack, well, why is it then that the whole Western world is equally affected? Did someone want to bring down consumerism? The whole neoliberal, military-industrial complex? Perhaps to save the planet from mankind? Eco-terrorism? Animal rights activists resorting to the final solution? But why would they not just claim responsibility? I mean, if they, say ISIS had done it, they'd be gloating about it, but nobody has ever claimed responsibility. Maybe we're all responsible. This happened on our watch. We were the adults here. We're all to blame, really. Somebody created Game 5, but we, all of us, we're just so easily distracted. And why didn't we stop when we saw the risk? People say Game 5 was beyond anything seen before, that we simply never stood a chance, and if Game 5 hadn't come along, then something else would have come along in time. I don't know. But what made us need to escape? Were our lives so dull? Was everything so wrong that we just leapt at the chance of mindless escapism? Was Netflix binging the first signs? The prototype weapon of mass destruction? Maybe it was a bit of everything. For some, maybe modern life was just too much, or not engaging enough. If binge-watching box sets and celebrity gossip and the latest iPhone upgrade counts as highlights, well, maybe Game 5 tapped into a yearning to fill the void. And for others, maybe modern life was just too much. Climate change and ecological disaster, political madness, wars and disease, being put on hold when you phone your bank. And along came this crack cocaine of a game. If only Google or Apple or the media had stepped in to stop it, maybe we would have stood a chance. But it was making them, all of them, so much money they just couldn't bear to turn off the tap. And the endless news reports, well, they were just basically advertising for it. And when people realised how serious it was and what it was doing to people, well, then their stories turned to moral outrage at these game addicts. They should have been recognised as the first victims. Eventually, when the impending collapse was obvious to everybody, they just became the mouthpiece for the government, talking about calm and doling out useless advice about rationing screen time. So who did create this perfectly diabolical game? What does it matter? It's too late now. But what if it wasn't a great conspiracy or a leak of weapons-grade psyops or artificial intelligence game development? What if it was just a kid, say a 12-year-old kid, with a laptop and an internet connection? Imagine it, say a boy, 12, he was playing on his computer, he might as well have been in Ballon, right? So this boy, you know, he's in his bedroom on Sunday afternoon, a wet Sunday, makes a game, calls down to his dad, "Can I put my game online?" "Why not?" It's so addictive, it might destroy the world. If it does, you're grounded. Clear boundaries. What the hell? Uploads the game. It goes viral. Addiction? A weakling word. But a good game? It could have happened that way. Who knows? Well, somebody knows.